Hello there, Libra. Welcome back to Misfits of the Zodiac. My name is Ace. I am doing a winter solstice reading for you guys for today. I decided to go against the grain of my own channel, and instead of doing a December monthly reading, I had been feeling like doing a Yule/winter solstice reading. And there was something that kind of pushed me over the edge and allowed me to make that decision. For those of you who don't know, I am a background actress on TV and movies out here in California. And I was on a TV show for like 4 months. And they wrapped me on December 1st. And I was going to try to get a reading out for you guys for December, but it just didn't work out, and it made sense why it didn't work out. I needed to kind of recalibrate. It was a very emotional experience because I'd been spending 12 hours a day back to back for months on that show, which was an amazing experience, but it was very emotional detaching from that. And so I needed some time to kind of recalibrate so that I could refocus on these readings and not be in that emotional state. It was a beautiful thing, but it was a lot. And I needed to heal from an injury, and there was just a lot going on. So thank you for your patience. But it did kind of make me realize, oh, I want to do this anyway, and I might not have been able to do a winter solstice reading if I had done the December readings, because I would have been a little burnt out, I think. I was already really burnt out from being on that show and having it end. So can't tell you what the show is, so for those of you who are interested, but I will give you a couple hints if you care. It's a medical show. I was a patient. It's season 2. It's on HBO. I can't say the name of the show, but if you're able to figure it out from those, it's a medical show, like I said, and it's on HBO. I'm in season 2. I was actually in season 1 as well, but as a different person, let's just say. So you might see me as a little Easter egg in the background if it happens to be one of your favorite shows and you're going to be watching it in January. So hopefully, if some of you guess it and it's past the point when it finally goes out, I can say definitively whether you are correct or not. But until then, feel free to put a guess. But until then, I have to kind of keep it under wraps. But yeah, it was a great show, great experience. I just needed some time to recalibrate because it was a lot. So, all that being said, let's get into your reading. So, your first card is Nature. This is the Devil card in the normal tarot. In this depiction, this gentleman is setting a trap, and he doesn't realize there's a bear behind him. And there's all these people behind them frolicking and enjoying their time. This is asking you to set yourself free or entrapping yourself in something that you don't need to trap yourself in. There's something in your life. Let's look at the rest of these cards. It feels like it could be another cycle resurfacing. So this could be something that you've already been through, that you already realized doesn't work for you, and you're being tested right now to see if you let yourself free from this or if you stay in the same cycle repeating itself over and over again. You're getting a chance. I feel like the universe is giving you an opportunity to do things differently this time, and it's waiting to see if you will. So there's something in the past that didn't work, and it's coming back up, and it's something that's going to make you either feel like you're able to set yourself free by not doing it the same way again, or doing it the exact same way, getting trapped in the same system, and then just having it repeat itself, okay? I'm not getting anything really strong, like whether or not it's like a job or a person. I feel more than anything, it's just a cycle. It's some sort of cycle that you've been in previously, and you've already learned from it. You already learned that it didn't work before, and you're being tested right around the solstice, which is around December 20th to the 21st. It could lead into January, but I feel like it's closer to the solstice than anything else. Could be related to the holidays. It could also be related to abundance, and the reason why I'm saying abundance is your next card is the Earth Mother. So this is talking about prosperity. It's talking about, like I said, abundance. It's also talking about some sort of like fruits of your labor coming in and you being able to like experience a harvest as a result of a lot of hard work. I feel like part of what you could be learning, what has not worked in the past, is focusing too much on lack. Maybe you're working through a scarcity mindset. I know I have healed from that a little bit this year. I feel like a lot of people have, or they're trying to. The abundance is coming in, and and the universe is checking you to see, like, hey, are you going to accept this, or are you going to still be fearful that abundance is not around you at all times, and that it doesn't have the ability to come into your life at all times? And I feel like it's going to be a positive thing for you. I think that you're finally going to understand, like, oh no, it's okay to have that fear, but it's unwarranted because there is abundance around me at all times. There are options. There's always options. Okay. Your next card is the Two of Pentacles. So I think that what we were just saying about you seeing the abundance, having the fear, seeing the fear, but going with the idea that the abundance is still available to you is going to help you with this energy. And the reason I say that is, in this depiction, there's like a storm behind this gentleman. He built this barn. There's this little fox here that represents you having strategy or tools under your belt to kind of move through this energy. And he's balancing these pentacles. This is him finding balance despite the storm that's coming. He knows he's okay because he has built himself a shelter. I feel like this is that scarcity mindset potentially that is trying to entrap you and trying to see if you're going to fall into that trap again, or if you're going to weather the storm in the barn that you built, which is your abundance that you created for yourself. The abundance that you're not only receiving, but you're seeing in your everyday, and focusing more on that. And this gentleman is not fearful anymore because he's able to find balance, because he's not so stressed out about what's not coming, because he's focused on what's here, what is present now, the prosperity that's present in his space at this moment. Okay? So I feel like there could be a lot of things going on for you, but you're able to balance it. I'm hearing balancing a checkbook. Obviously, very few people use a checkbook anymore, but I think it's more a metaphor for you finding a balance between what's going out, the money that's going out, and what's coming in. You finally found like a way to allow extra to come in and not frivolously, have it go out because you don't trust yourself to hold it. Okay? You don't trust yourself that the abundance is going to bring some sort of negativity your way. There could be something that you're healing from regarding that. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Your next card is really interesting that you got it for the winter solstice. A couple of people have gotten it, but you got it in reverse, which is really interesting. We're going to have to figure out why it's in reverse. But you got the Holly King. So in the upright, this is the Hermit card. This is asking you to go within, asking you to use your own intuition and to create your own path. In reverse, it could mean that you're you need to get out of that hermit mode. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to get out of this space of like, I gotta keep myself indoors and by indoors, I don't mean literally indoors. I mean metaphorically indoors at all times to keep yourself safe. There's some sort of comfort zone that you're needing to leave. And that could be this trap that we were talking about, okay? You're trying to like free yourself. And the only way to do that is to get out of your comfort zone. Not be in this like hermit mentality of like, I gotta stay safe. Okay? So this is asking for you to flip the script, turn the hermit upside down, get out of that hermit mode, get out there. trying new things. I feel like this is going to be a really positive shift for you because you have the world tree, which is talking about cycles. There's some sort of cycle ending, and that's why I think that instead of choosing the trap this time, you're going to finally set yourself free, and it's going to create a new cycle. You're going to let that part of your life kind of fall away and die so that it can be rebirthed into this new cycle. This is showing all the different seasons here. And you're moving through a different season of your life. You're moving through a new cycle. You're about to create a brand new life for yourself. And I think it's going to start with this decision to choose abundance over scarcity. Getting over the scarcity mindset that a lot of us have, that we're trying to heal from. I feel like you've been working really hard towards this, and you're at the very end, and you're so close to making the paradigm shift and creating this new cycle, because you have the Seven of Pentacles. This is talking about somebody working really hard for a long time on a long project. This could be something that you've been working towards for a really, really long time. It could be a literal project. It could be this new mindset shift. It just has come up for you over and over and over again. You've been given, a lot of chances to change it, and for some reason you just haven't been able to. I just feel that struggle. I definitely had this happen in my own life, but I feel like this is telling you you're so close, but don't force it. So with this card, it's usually related to a project, and it could be for you as well. You're at the fine-tuning stage. So you've created the thing, and you're in the last stages before it goes out, okay? But we have a tendency, if we've been working on something for a really long time, that we are just like, I just want this project to be done. I'm willing to cut corners to get there. Don't do that. This is asking for you not to do that. You've worked really, really hard to get where you're at. Don't sell yourself short at the last minute, okay? So whether this is a literal project or this is you being on the verge of this new cycle as a result of setting yourself free, you're really close. If you feel yourself slipping back into that scarcity mindset or old attitudes about money or prosperity, take some time to sit in it and don't fear it. Just allow it to exist and then recalibrate to focus on the abundance that's in your life so that you can see it and tell your brain, no, I'm abundant. And then your brain is going to want to be right, so it's going to find ways to prove you right. Does that make sense? So looking for the abundance will help you recalibrate if you start to go back in those old feelings, and that's going to help you cross the finish line. You're right there. You're right at the precipice, and I feel like this is going to bring a lot of joy and a lot of healing, because your next card is the Queen of Cups. I feel like this Queen of Cups energy is all about compassion. It's very motherly. It's filling up your cup. It's giving yourself the time of day. And by that I mean giving yourself compassion. There's a reason that you feel the way that you do. There's a reason that if you're dealing with a scarcity mindset that you have that. It was created from something. It didn't just pop out of nowhere. So giving yourself compassion when it does come up and not getting frustrated with yourself is really, really going to be important for you so that you can heal from it and not feel like you're stuck in it. And that's going to be that whole determining factor of you entrapping yourself again or setting yourself free. Okay? So giving yourself self-compassion is going to be really important. And I feel like it's interesting because you have the Wheel of the Year, Wheel of Fortune in the normal tarot, and you had the World Tree before. These are both talking about major cycles. This is a major, major, major cycle for you. This is not like some simple, this is not just a season in your life. It feels like a whole book ending and a new book beginning in your life, okay? Which sometimes is like years and years of time within a book, okay? And I feel like you're going to see a shift towards the positive. In this deck, it's talking about the next 6 months are going to be very positive. It's interesting, too, that it's set on Yule. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's on Yule. So that is the summer or the winter solstice. That is Yule, what we're talking about. That is what this reading is based off of, is the winter solstice and Yule, which is the winter solstice. So it could happen on or around this time, literally on the day. You could finally feel a sense of peace and a sense of shift, moving towards abundance and not that lack or scarcity mindset. The challenge for you is the Knight of Athames, which is, it's very much this like Seven of Pentacles energy where you want to rush to the finish line. Try not to do that. You're so close. You've worked so hard for this. Don't re-entrap yourself, okay? Don't slip up at the last second. You're really, really close to crossing the finish line. So whether this is scarcity mindset or some other project, don't be complacent in thinking that you can cut corners, because it could potentially wreck all of the work that you worked so hard for leading up to this point. Okay? So your two oracle cards that you got are two that I have not gotten for anybody. So you have the Wise Man, which it says, if it wasn't for the familiar songs that echo through my spine, I would have lost what is lost and never found my purpose. That feels very in alignment with what we've been talking about. You've been working towards this cycle shift for a really long time. You've gained a lot of wisdom, and this is, the universe is coming in to test you so that you can prove that you have moved on from that. It's okay if you fall back. It's okay if there are signs of you, slipping back into old patterns, but finding your way back out of that and using the tools that you've created as a result of the wisdom that you gained over the years is what it's asking for you to do. It's okay to slip up, we're human, but finding a way to get back to that sense of, no, prosperity is around me at all times. And finding your way back to that is going to be key. And then you have the wreath. So it says, there is the circle of life tends to breathe death. One is not without the other, eternally bound by the essence of spirit. This is all about cycles. It's a wreath. It's a circle, right? You had the wheel of the year. You have the world tree. All of these are talking about cycles. They either repeat themselves or they move and change through time. I feel like you are on the precipice of a major shift. A major cycle is ending for you, and it just has to happen, happens to be happening at the end of a year. It's also interesting that it's a 2025 and now we're going into the second half of a decade. So it could, I'm feeling inclined to say that, I don't know, out of nowhere, maybe this has been a 5-year thing for you, where for the last 5 years you've been working through the cycle, and it just happens to be ending halfway through the decade, which is kind of interesting. The last thing I want to say, which I just I'm feeling inclined to talk about it. It's interesting that you got the Wise Man with all these trees with the snow, and you have the Holly King. Again, you might want to look up the battle between the Holly King and the, what is it? What is he? It's escaping me at the moment. Just look up the Holly King. It should come up. There's a battle that he has with basically his younger self. And I feel like there's going to be some sort of metaphor in there for you. There's going to be a lot in that story that could really help you to start this new cycle. But more than anything, I feel like you've gained a lot of wisdom over time. You've gained a lot of tools, and the universe is presenting you with this opportunity to either re-trap yourself or set yourself free. And I think you're going to set yourself free. I think this is going to be the final time where you're just like, you know what? I've done it this other way so many times. It's time for a new cycle. It's time for a new rebirth. It's time to move through different energy. So I'm sending you all the luck. If this resonated with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And maybe get a like, share, or subscribe and have you come back as a misfit. This is probably going to be my last reading for you for this year. So I will see you on the other side. But until then, be safe, have a good holiday season, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.